I found this photo on the internet. I've seen it on Twitter. I've seen it being shared on Facebook. And it's a photo of two boys. One on the left is James Davis. Is a black boy, aged 5 years, according to the caption. And the other one is Ronald Osullivan. He's an 80-year-old boy, white boy. And I'm using the reference white and black because this photo was taken in 1952. And I think it was published in the Chicago Daily. And it's in black and white, as you can see. Couldn't get a color version of it. Maybe we can do a color version of it using AI and try and find out how it would look like. But one thing that caught my interest when I was looking at posts of the same photo on YouTube, on Facebook rather, and Twitter, there's one thing I noticed that a lot of people are criticizing and a lot of people are condemning the photo, saying that the black boy, questioning whether he is really sleeping. As you can see, the caption is titled "Sleepy Explorers." Apparently, these boys had gone out for the day, and I think they were on the train. Then somehow it was late, and they found themselves at the police station. And so these young boys are at the police station, and one of them falls asleep. The guy on the left, James Davis, falls asleep, and the caption says he's sleeping. But the internet, the comments on the internet are so mixed views on whether the boy is sleeping and whether he's sleeping or he's dead. And some internet surfers wondered whether he was really sleeping or he was a dead boy that maybe was just beaten up, and a photo of him taken with a small boy and make it look like he's sleeping. One of the comments I saw was that the face of the boy looks swollen. If you look at the eyes, they look swollen. His right hand looks like it's blooded, and his clothes look like they're blooded because this is a black and white photo. So you can't really see blood clearly in the black and white photo. That's what the argument is. But the other arguments are that the young boy is just sleeping. These were young boys who were playing. They are wearing similar clothes. If you look, I think they are both wearing denims. So it's really possible that they could have been playing and one of them fell asleep. But the internet is really divided, and it would be nice really to find out more about who these people were. You know, if you search, I tried to do a search of the image, an image search on this photo, and I can't find anything other than what is posted on the internet. There's no record of who these boys were, what they grew up to become. I know, it's not easy that for newspapers, obviously, when they publish a photo in a newspaper, it's not always that they would follow around and see the future history of these boys. But it would be nice to know what really happened here. Was this boy really sleeping, and why was only one photo taken, and why is only one photo available on the internet? Would you say that he is sleeping peacefully, held in the hands of his friend, Ronald Osullivan, or is he dead? And does it really look dead? Do those eyes look like they are swollen? Does his right hand look like he was beaten? Does it look lifeless? Would you say he looks lifeless if you really look at the photo, or maybe he was just sleeping? Some of the Facebookers and people on Twitter also commented that the position of his neck doesn't look like he's got any life in him at all. It doesn't look like he's breathing. I don't know how you can see a person breathing in a still photo, but they say it doesn't look like he's breathing. It looks like his hand is that of a dead person. The right hand the fist looks as if their hand is clenched, more like what would appear in a person who is dead. And the hand, again, if you look at it, it looks very dark compared to the rest of his body. It looks so dark that it looks like it was bruised. Maybe he was assaulted and then he died, and this was a trophy photo. That's what some people are saying. But again, maybe for one to understand this is that I also saw this comment where one person wrote that in the 1950s, because this photo, according to the caption, was taken in 1952. So in the 1950s, the racism, the segregation rather, in Chicago was very high. Remember, Chicago is one of the places that racism was extremely high in the United States. So during that time, it was unlikely that the argument is that it was unlikely that two boys would probably walk together and play throughout the night without being stopped, without ending up in trouble, without one of them being assaulted. There was a lot of segregation at the time. It would have been impossible for the boys to rather walk together, black and white, when there was so much segregation at the time in Chicago. In fact, Chicago is one of the places that are known to still have racism existing even today, where you find that there's still a lot of segregation, racism rather, that still goes on, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done. So the whole argument about these boys having been friends are very subjected to a lot of debate. So I would love to know what you think about this, and if you can maybe, for those of you that probably live in Chicago, does the Chicago Daily still exist? Do they have an archive where you can maybe help us with these kind of photos to find out if maybe we can find out more information about what really happened. Please help us, and in the comments, if you've got any other information about who these people are and who they've grown up to become. If this was 1952 and James Davis was 5 years at the time, it means that that's about 72 years ago, plus 5 years. That means that he would be 77 years today, while his friend Ronald Osullivan would be 80 years old. And I mean, if these guys are still alive, then they are really old. If this was taken in that time of the century. So please let us know in the comments. I would really love to know what really you know about this, and so that we can put this debate to rest. Otherwise, as far as the internet is concerned, this is a dead boy that was probably beaten to death and strangled, or anything probably happened to him, and the photo was taken as it was done in those days. People would easily do it, because the America that existed then is not the same America that we live in today, where it's you can't just go about beating people and then take photos of them. So I would really appreciate if you could leave it in the comments.